Welcome to Homestead Reptile, and this is Chicken 101, picking out a healthy chicken and basic baby chicken care. So, first we're going to talk about where you can get your baby chick. So, there are multiple places to get your baby chick. The easiest place is going to your local feed store, so a Rural King, Tractor Supply, one of those places. The second option is ordering online. So you go to Crackle, Ideal Hatchery. There's like hundreds and hundreds of different hatcheries that sell chickens. So those places will have a larger diversity of chicks. So rare breeds, rare color mutations, that type of stuff. Your feed store is normally limited on what they have and what they have at that moment. You can also find a breeder or you can order hatching eggs. So finding a breeder is a little bit more difficult, and ordering hatching eggs, especially if you're a newbie chicken keeper, comes with a little bit more. So you're going to need an incubator, you're going to have to find someone to sell you hatching eggs. It's just more time consuming, and there's more errors can happen. So I would suggest your best option is actually just going to your local feed store. So you're in your local feed store and you see rows and rows and rows of different breeds of chickens. So you'll see a few signs on there with different terminology. So you'll see pullet and you'll see straight run. A pullet is a female chick that hasn't started to lay eggs yet. So if you want eggs and you're not allowed to have roosters, stick with pullets. Straight run is a 50-50, so there'll be a mix of females and there'll be a mix of males. Keep away from that if you don't want a chance of getting a rooster. Now, while you're in there, you'll notice normal chicken behavior, baby chicks. So baby chicks will be active. They're a day old when they come into the store, moving around, eating, laying down next to the heat. Now, they'll lay down in some bizarre positions where you think they're dead, like sprawled out like a pancake. They're not dead. They're just, when baby chicks are asleep, they're asleep. But when you move around and they start noticing you, they should be walking around peeping and being really excited. If you see a baby chick kind of off to itself, just not doing anything, it's not reacting to basic stimulation, it's lethargic, it's just something feels a little off with it, avoid that chicken. There's something wrong with it and it's likely to die, or it has a problem. So you want to make sure your chick has bright eyes, a normal beak, no discharge from the beak, normal feet, so it has the normal amount of toes. So they can have extra toes. It depends on the breed. Some breeds have extra toes, but normal looking feet, no bumblefoot, and pasty butt. So pasty butt is basically when the chick poops, but poop can get stuck to the butt feathers. So if this continues to happen, it builds up and it builds up, and it can basically block its cloaca, and it can cause a bunch of health issues. Now, this can be for multiple reasons, that the chick is moving from the hatchery to this place, and it could stress them out, and they could get a little problems. It's not a major issue, but if you're new into chicks, I would suggest you avoid any chick that has pasty butt or serious pasty butt. If you do get pasty butt in your chicks, which you will eventually, it's really easy to just get a Q-tip, warm water, and just get that off there, clean it off really easily, and it will be perfectly fine. It's not a death sentence. It's just something you should avoid if there's a lot of it and you're new into chickens. So one important thing that you absolutely need to do before you even step foot in there to buy your chickens is set your brooder up first. Baby chicks need heat. That first 7 days of life, they need to be at 95. And then as they get older, you start weaning them off the heat. But they need to be kept warm when they're young. They will die if they are not kept warm. So go into your feed shop, order online, off Amazon or whatever. Get your brooder set up first. Get your supplies before you get your chicks. Now, your brooder could be anything. It could be a feed stock tank that you see in Tractor Supply. That's mostly what they keep chickens in. It could be a plastic bin. You can make it yourself. Get creative. You can make a cheap, affordable brooder, especially since you're not gonna need it for very long. For the first few weeks of their life, you're gonna need it. Then you're gonna move them outside. So you have your brooder set up. You have the heat at the correct temperature. I would suggest you get a a temperature gun. That thing is a lifesaver. You'll be able to temp gun if it's at 95, and then this other side's cool. So you don't want the whole brooder to be 95. You want a nice hot spot at 95, but they need to be able to move out of the heat so you don't cook them to death. So you need to give them that option to get warm or to get cool. So you need to keep that in mind as well. You're going to need pine shavings. They need to be able to grip onto a surface that's not slippery. You need to make sure they're able to be stable. You don't want to give them leg problems long term on a super slippery surface. Pine shavings, I would suggest you get electrolytes and probiotics to add to the water. And of course, you need baby chicken food, chick starter, and feeders and waters to put the food in. So that's your basic supplies of what you need for your baby chicks. Now, baby chicks grow up fast, so you're going to need permanent housing set up pretty soon. So, if this was interesting, like and subscribe and leave a comment. And again, this is basic baby chicken care.